Welcome to the always interesting DCTV News at Noon program. I'm Kelsey Kiesling.
And I'm Kendra Cook. And the Southwest TV Translator Association underwrites the news, and Dolores County Broadcast Network provides the support for DCTV.
Here at the News...
We are here at the News at Noon show.
Here at the News at Noon show, we present
the news that we hope we find interesting, and report on local issues and events.
Give us a call with news tips or topics you'd like to see covered. The number is 677-4119.
We appreciate you watching DCTV. Today's show is live Monday at noon and usually rebroadcast at 2:30 and 8 p.m. and re-aired on Thursday at noon, 2:30 and 8.
Today is February 6, 2017. Now here's the news. According to the Cortez Journal, a Durango man pleaded guilty Friday to felony arson, his second conviction in less than 2 years for intentionally starting a fire. Dwayne Suazo, 51, will be screened for Mental Health Court, an intense supervisory program that addresses mental health problems. He will have to comply with recommended treatment and stay out of trouble. He also faces 3 years probation, according to a plea agreement he signed Friday with the 6th Judicial District Attorney's Office. Suazo set fire to his sister's shed about 6:45 p.m. January 19th in the 700 block of East 1st Street in South Durango. He told police he was upset with his sister and burned the shed for revenge. He also admitted to consuming methamphetamine, marijuana, and alcohol, according to an arrest affidavit filed in La Plata County Combined Courts. He apparently used 2 lighters, newspapers, and other items to start the blaze. Suazo was arrested in September 2015 at the same address for starting a fire on a shed. He pleaded guilty that year to misdemeanor arson and was sentenced to 90 days in jail with credit for time served.
The Cortez Journal reported on the update to the Paths to Mesa Verde project. Several proposed routes for the Paths to Mesa Verde Trail were laid out for public viewing during a packed meeting at the Cortez Recreation Center last week. Trail alternatives extend between Cortez and Mancos across public and private lands on the north and south sides of US 160. Planners, funded in part by a $400,000 federal transportation grant, have been studying the topography, private property, and environmental issues of the proposed non-motorized trail, expected to be between 16 and 24 miles. Throughout the 2-mile-wide trail corridor, there are about 300 private property parcels where the various trail alternatives could potentially cross. Planners have sent letters to them and are following up to discuss whether they are open to trail easements. So far, 30 have been contacted in person or by phone, with 15 showing willingness to talk about potential easements. Peter Loris of Loris & Associates, an engineering consulting firm, said the green and yellow colored properties indicate the landowner is willing to talk about easements, but does not obligate them. As more property owners are contacted, the path of least resistance will begin to emerge, said Trail Project Coordinator James Dietrich, and a single, more specific trail location will begin to take shape. The next step will be negotiating easements with willing property owners. In general, private land easements could be held by the county and include county liability insurance. Property owners would be paid for the easement, or they could donate them. The county would be responsible for easement maintenance in partnership with other towns and organizations. Easements could also include property tax breaks for the property owner, or the property owner could sell a trail corridor to the county. Planners said where topography, sensitive resources, or private land prohibits a trail, it could run along county roads or the US 160 corridor, but separated from the roadway. The trail plan was initiated by Montezuma County and has shown strong support from Cortez, Mancos County residents and local government. In 2016, it made the Colorado governor's list for top trails the state would like to see built. An electronic survey at the Cortez meeting revealed 87% of the 100 audience members supported the proposed non-motorized trail and 13% opposed. The trail would be built in 5-mile phases, but funding for trail construction still needs to be secured. Chuck Forth of the Onward Foundation said he would help from a Paths to Mesa Verde's Friends group form it, and that would become an important component to organize volunteers and garner and invest donations for trail projects and maintenance. For more information and to find out if any trail route proposal crosses your private property, contact James Dietrich at 970-565-7402.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, a fire late Tuesday night completely destroyed a barn near Areola, according to a report from the Montezuma County Sheriff's Office. Emergency personnel responded to the 15,000 block of Road 21 between County Roads S and P just before 11 p.m. Tuesday, according to the report. A barn on the property was fully engulfed in flames, the report states. The property owners reported they had 30 chickens, 4 hogs, 6 piglets, a milk cow, and some equipment in the barn. Firefighters were able to rescue some of the animals from the barn, but they were unable to save any of the building or equipment, according to the report. Firefighters from the Louis Areola Volunteer Fire Department were on scene, according to the report.
The Colorado Department of Transportation is looking to find out how they can increase their funding to manage the enormous task of upkeep on the roadways of Colorado. News at Noon had introduced you to their new pilot project that started back in the summer of 2016. They are looking at the option of creating a mileage tax. Similar to the projects being investigated in the Pacific Northwest, aimed to tax a driver on their per mileage use to increase funds and or perhaps to economically bully the public into lessening the use of private vehicles in place of public transportation. Looking into the UN Agenda 21, or now 2030, that initiative is geared towards steering the public into condensed cities and limiting by incentive the freedoms that one enjoys from independent transportation. So let's take a look at CDOT's February update of their study. CDOT states that safe and reliable roads are an essential part of our lives. Coloradans fund maintenance and improvements of our roads through a per-gallon gas tax at the pump. They would like you to consider the inflation factor, that $1 in 2016 is worth approximately 56.5% less than it was in 1991, which was the last time Colorado raised the gas tax rate. The outdated gas tax and, ironically, the rise of fuel-efficient vehicles and surge of electric vehicle trends leaves an estimated shortfall of $25 billion over the next 25 years. That's why they're exploring options like a road usage charge to fund future road maintenance and improvements. CDOT launched the Colorado RUCPP in December 2016 with 103 drivers from nearly 30 different counties, representing drivers from all parts of the state. There's only 2 in Montezuma County and none from Dolores. We had late information provided just now. Each participant chooses one of 3 mileage reporting options, using odometer reading, non-GPS enabled, or GPS enabled. Their participation will help CDOT evaluate exactly how a road usage charge program would work for passenger vehicles in Colorado. When the program ends in April of 2017, they will summarize the findings and recommendations in a report available later this summer. If you want more information about Colorado RUCPP, check out ruc.co.gov or follow them on Facebook. We have a link up on our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page for you.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, wildlife officials have captured a mountain lion suspected of killing deer at Miller Middle School in Durango. The mountain lion was caught Saturday and her cub was captured Friday night, said Joe Lewandowski, spokesman with Colorado Parks and Wildlife in Durango. Both were driven west and released near the Utah line in good mountain lion habitat, Lewandowski said. School principal Robert Nunn warned parents of mountain lion activity last week, saying a deer carcass had been found on school grounds. He asked parents to talk to their children about the situation, especially if they walk to and from school during the early hours or late after school for events. The Durango Police Department was doing extra patrols early in the morning as a safety precaution, and the school increased supervision of students during the lunch hour. Colorado Parks and Wildlife has fielded calls about a mountain lion in the Junction Creek area for almost a year, Lewandowski said. It let the animal coexist until last week when the deer carcass was found on school grounds and another one was found in a nearby neighborhood, he said. We can coexist with wildlife, but in this case we thought it was better for the animals and really for the neighborhood to have them move along, he said. Both animals were in good shape. Mountain lion cubs generally stay with their mothers about a year to learn how to hunt. Lewandowski reminded residents not to put out food for deer, raccoons, or turkeys. Doing so lures those animals into populated areas, which in turn lures mountain lions. If residents encounter mountain lions, they should make themselves look bigger by raising their arms and anything they have with them, including a mountain bike. They should slowly back away from the animal without running. And now let's take a look at the weather.
The regional radar The regional radar shows some clouds and possible precipitation in the Four Quarters area. In Dove Creek, a roughly 40% chance of showers intermittently will be for this afternoon as the temperatures climb up into the 40s. Light wind of 6 miles an hour may contain gusts up to 13 in the afternoon. Negligible amounts of precipitation are expected. Tonight, that overcast will stay in place, giving the potential of occasional evening rain and drizzle, followed by a possible flurry or squall overnight with up to 1 inch accumulation, with winds in the 8 mile per hour to 14 mile per hour gusts. The National Weather Service is stating a hazardous weather outlook notice for eastern Utah and western Colorado as of 5:22 a.m. this morning, February 6th. They report that rain and snow will start falling today as a wave moves over the area. Accumulating snow will fall over all mountains, with rain in most valleys, though a rain and snow mix is expected for the northern valleys. Precipitation will lighten up overnight, but will still continue. Tuesday through Sunday's outlook is a second wave moves through over the area starting Tuesday, bringing more intense snowfall to the mountains, with the central and northern mountains being favored. Again, rain in most valleys is expected. Precipitation will end Thursday, with the next chance for precip being the weekend as another storm system moves in. This is anticipated to remain mostly to our north here in Colorado. On the national forecast image, we see that there will be quite a few active patterns setting up across the nation, with snows forecast across the west, rains and thunderstorms prevalent from eastern Texas through the south and Midwest, and a mix of weather from freezing rain to rain and snow mix in New England. Again, the NWS reports that winter weather returns to the mountains of eastern Utah and western Colorado from Monday through Wednesday of this week as a series of fast-moving Pacific storms head through the Rockies. 1 to 2 feet of snow is expected for the northern and central mountains, with some areas in the central mountains of western Colorado exceeding 2 feet in favored flow. The heaviest accumulations are anticipated Tuesday morning when the best shot of moisture arrives. Temperatures will remain above average for this time of year, with rain and snow anticipated for the valleys. Snow levels will vary from 7,000 to 9,000 feet depending on the time of day or night, with the biggest impacts to travel occurring during the overnight and early morning hours. Dry weather returns on Thursday, but another round of rain and snow will try to move in on Friday, most likely to our north. Our local 5-day forecast shows the temperatures in the 40s from today through Wednesday, with the overnight temps warming up to the 30s and our brief chance of rain and snow into Tuesday. Thursday, we may feel even warmer into the 50s and upper 30s for overnight, with possible rain coming through Friday and into Saturday. Highs in the 50s and lows in the 30s, and then low temperatures may come back into the 40s on the extended forecast of Saturday, Sunday, and a beautiful Valentine's Day lining up for our area next Tuesday. Don't forget to stock up on chocolates, of course. And now back to the news.
According to the Cortez Journal, an effort by Montezuma County to expand recycling is showing good initial results. In 2014, county commissioners revamped operations at the county landfill from a stacked bale system to a compaction process. That freed up an industrial baler for recyclables so they could be shipped and sold on the open market. Landfill manager Shaq Powers reported this month that the landfill had a 13% diversion rate in 2016 compared with 7% in 2015. We kept 3,076 tons out of the landfill due to the recycling program, he reported to the commission recently. The more we keep out of the landfill, the longer it will last. The program broke even as well, he said, which was a goal of the county, and it created a full-time position. We did not want to lose any money and actually came out ahead by $50, Powers said. The landfill collects cardboard, tin, and aluminum, number 1 and number 2 plastics, paper, electronic waste, tires, and biosolids. Staff found a creative solution to eliminating a middleman commonly relied on by recycling programs called a materials reclamation facility. Reclamation facilities in Grand Junction and Denver receive single-stream recyclables that are mixed together, then separated for a cost, reducing the amount paid to organizations selling recycling. The landfill came up with a hybrid single-stream system in which customers with waste management separately bag tin and aluminum, paper, plastics, and cardboard for pickup. On the landfill's tipping floor, the new labor position further sorts the different bagged recyclables into piles that are baled for shipment direct to buyers instead of to the materials reclamation facility. In 2016, the landfill collected 26 tons of hybrid single-stream, 508 tons of cardboard, and 268 tons of paper. The county landfill partners with the City of Cortez Recycling Program, the Four Corners Recycling Initiative, and Waste Management. The landfill also utilizes sterilized biosolids from the Cortez Sanitation District for composting. Powers wants to expand the organic and composting portion of the recycling program. Keeping organic wastes out of the landfill reduces problematic leachate and methane production issues, he said.
Interesting new breakthroughs with technology and communications may lead to more remote access to doctors. As reported in the Durango Herald, having children with Down syndrome presents unique challenges, including medical issues that require special care from experts at Children's Hospital in Aurora. Making a 350-mile trip from the Bayfield area for routine visits isn't easy for Kristen and Mark Westbrook, who now have 10 children, 4 biological and 6 adopted, and 5 of which have Down syndrome. Fortunately, they can participate in telemedicine, a video link-up that allows doctors to perform routine checkups on patients from virtually anywhere in the world. With the help of a nurse in Durango, they use digital otoscopes and stethoscopes to examine ears, eyes, throats, and heartbeats. Last month, all 5 girls played in a room at Pediatric Partners of the Southwest in Durango, while doctors Frances Hickey and Kathleen Mays observed from Aurora. The girls took turns jumping off a tumble mat and playing games, while Dr. Mays talked with Kristen Westbrook about their progress. They can pretty much do a full exam on the patient with my help, said Amanda Harrison, nurse manager and telemedicine coordinator at Pediatric Partners. Children's Hospital offers the service to anyone in Southwest Colorado. Pediatric Partners hosts the service in this corner of the state, but Children's Hospital patients don't have to be clients of Pediatric Partners to schedule a visit. The technology, which costs about $8,000, consists of a flat-screen TV, camera, digital medical devices, and a blazing fast internet connection. The video and sound are nearly flawless, with no delay, allowing for seamless conversation. Children's Hospital saved 122 patients from having to make 160 visits to Denver from Southwest Colorado last year, thanks to telemedicine, said Dr. John F. Fred Thomas, an epidemiologist at the University of Colorado and director of telemedicine for the hospital. That represents about 9 months in travel time and $100,000 in travel expenses.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, in 2016, 57% of eligible residents signed up for the service known as Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP. In 2015, about 50% of eligible residents in the county enrolled in the program. In 2016, 3,328 people in Montezuma County received food stamps, and 2,550 eligible low-income residents did not enroll. In 2015, 3,126 enrolled for SNAP benefits. Statewide, 54% of those eligible enrolled in 2016 compared with 74% nationally. Increased outreach to inform low-income families of the SNAP program improved enrollment, with 44% of the 64 counties showing increased participation according to the report. But Colorado ranks 45th nationally for access to the program. Counties have taken positive strides in the last year, yet 1 in 8 Coloradans still struggle with hunger, said Kathy Underhill, CEO of Hunger Free Colorado. One reason cited for the increase in enrollment was the passage in June of Senate Bill 190, bipartisan legislation that focuses on improving efficiency of food stamp programs. The second annual Food Stamp Impact Report compares county performance with state and national averages based on enrollment, economic impact, and timely and accurate application processing. Colorado is meeting the federal standard for timely processing of 95% and has been above the benchmark for 12 consecutive months. Montezuma County also gained in timely processing, going from a 93% score in 2015 to a 94% score in 2016.
In today's High Country Happenings, Wednesday, February 8th, Southwest Colorado Concerts presents the Dallas Brass at 7 p.m. at the Montezuma Cortez High School Auditorium. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. for season ticket holders. Tickets are $25 for adults, $10 for youth at the door. Details, call Jason Witt at 570-9051 or Lindsay Havran at 565-7676. Also February 8th, the San Juan Basin Archaeological Society hosts Janine Bracco at 7 p.m. in the Lyceum at the Center of the Southwest Studies at Fort Lewis College for a presentation about Navajo, Pueblo, and Hispanic textiles. A social begins at 6:30 p.m. Bracco is the curator of collections and public programs at the Center of Southwest Studies. For details, go online at sjbas.org. Thursday, February 9th, Colorado State University Soil Health and Cover Crops Workshop will be held here at the Dove Creek Community Center in Dove Creek. Lunch is provided for participants who have registered before January 27th. After that, cost is $15 per participant. For details, call 970-562-4255 or email courtney.roseberry@colostate.edu. All of these happenings are listed on the DCTV Facebook page. Check it out. We hope to be bringing the News at Noon to you as a live streaming feed to Facebook very soon. If you have news or event information you'd like us to share, send us an email at dcbnnews@gmail.com or call us here at the station. The number is 677-4119.
And now for the Dolores County Sheriff's Roundup for the week of January 30th through February 5th. A report of animal neglect was received by dispatch. Deputies responded and found the report to be unfounded. A man was arrested for probation violation. Dispatch received reports of the same IRS phone scam continuing to circulate. Several tractor trailers who failed to weigh at the port of entry were stopped and turned around. A resident of Rico called because of an extremely strong smell of propane at their neighbor's home. Rico Fire and Rescue were dispatched. Deputies responded to a medical alarm in the early morning hours and then again an hour later. All was fine, though, as it turned out to be a cat stepping on the medicaler. A general fire alarm at the elementary school turned out to be a false alarm. That's it for this week's Roundup. Stay tuned for continuing updates. Thanks for tuning in. A reminder that this program is aired live at noon Monday through Wednesday, then rebroadcast at 2:30 and 8 p.m., and again aired Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in the same order at noon, 2:30, and 8 p.m. each day, respectively.
And check us out on Facebook and the YouTube replays. Like us there, join the local conversation, and share it with a friend.
For Kendra Cook and everyone at DCTV with the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kelsey Kiesling. Thanks for watching.